Everyone in school knew Mia as the quiet girl. She walked through the hallways with her head slightly lowered, books held close to her chest, never making eye contact for too long. Most students never heard her voice except during attendance. But behind her silence was a heart that carried more pain than anyone realized, and a strength she never wanted to use. The story begins on a rainy Tuesday morning, the kind where the hallways smelled like wet shoes and cold air. Mia had barely stepped inside when she sensed it, those footsteps she dreaded. The Bullies, a group of 3 girls who treated the school like their stage and everyone else like props. They never needed a reason to target someone. Sometimes the reason was as simple as boredom. Today, they had decided it would be Mia. She reached her locker, hoping to blend into the background, but the leader of the Bullies, Zara, slammed her hand on the locker door. The loud bang echoed, making a few students glance over before quickly looking away. Everyone knew better than to interfere. "So, quiet girl," Zara smirked, "still hiding behind your silence." Mia didn't respond, not because she was scared of them, but because she learned long ago that words never changed bullies. She only wanted to take her books and get through her day. But Zara wasn't done. She wanted drama. She wanted a reaction. And Mia's calm silence only made her angrier. Zara grabbed the neckline of Mia's shirt and pulled her forward. Her 2 friends laughed. Then, in one sudden, violent motion, Zara tore Mia's shirt from the collar down. The sound of fabric ripping felt louder than any scream. Gasps filled the hallway. Mia froze, her eyes wide, her breath shallow. For a moment, she wasn't in school. She was back in that hospital room with her mother, holding her hand as she promised Mia something important: you never start the fight. But if someone tries to break who you are, you defend yourself, not out of anger but out of respect for your own worth. Mia had trained in Judo since she was 6. Her mother enrolled her not for winning medals, but for confidence and peace. Mia never showed her skills to anyone after her mother passed away. She had kept that part of her life tucked away, just like her emotions. But today, something in her snapped, not with rage, but with clarity. Zara pushed her again, shoving her into the locker. The hallway erupted with whispers. "Someone record this," a boy muttered. Mia finally lifted her head. Her eyes met Zara's. And for the first time, Zara felt something she never felt from Mia before: presence. "Don't touch me again," Mia said softly. Her voice wasn't loud, but it carried weight. Zara scoffed and reached for Mia's arm, ready to yank her again. That was the moment everything changed. Before Zara's hand could grab her, Mia stepped aside, hooked her arm under Zara's, pivoted her hip, and executed a clean judo hip throw. Zara's feet lifted off the ground and she hit the floor with a thud that silenced the entire hallway. The 2 other girls lunged at Mia, furious and embarrassed. The first grabbed her from behind, but Mia lowered her weight, slipped out, and flipped the girl over her shoulder. She landed beside Zara, groaning and shocked. The last bully froze for a second, then charged forward in anger. Mia sidestepped, caught her wrist, and guided her to the ground with a controlled arm lock that did not injure her, but made her realize Mia had complete control. "Please let go. I'm sorry," the girl whispered, trembling. Mia released her and stepped back. The hallway was so silent that the sound of her breathing felt loud. Students stared with wide eyes. Some looked impressed. Others looked ashamed that they never stepped in. A few boys dropped their phones, too stunned to continue recording. But Mia didn't stay to enjoy the moment. She picked up her torn shirt and walked calmly to the bathroom. She shut the door, locked it, sat on the cold floor, and finally allowed herself to breathe. Her hands were shaking, not from fear, but from the intensity of breaking the silence she had lived behind for so long. Later that day, she was called to the principal's office. Mia expected punishment, but instead found Zara's parents, the Bullies, and the school counselor waiting. Zara kept her eyes on the floor, embarrassed. The principal spoke gently. "Mia, we reviewed the footage. You acted in self-defense. You are not in trouble." Zara's mother spoke next. "I'm so sorry for what my daughter did. She had no right to put her hands on you. We're arranging counseling for her." Zara finally lifted her head, tears collecting in her eyes. I didn't know your shirt meant something to you. I didn't know you were hurting." Mia sighed softly. "Everyone is hurting in some way. But that doesn't give any of us the right to hurt someone else. The counselor suggested something unexpected. Mia, would you consider helping us with a self-defense program for the students? Not fighting, just confidence building. Mia hesitated. Her mother's words echoed again. Strength is not what you show on the outside, but what you feel inside when you stand up for yourself. She nodded slowly. Yes, I'd like that. Over the next months, something incredible happened. Mia's class saw her not as the quiet girl anymore, but as someone strong, gentle, and unexpectedly inspiring. Zara apologized publicly and even joined the self-defense group Mia helped guide. Mia didn't become loud or popular. She didn't become the center of attention. Instead, she became something better, someone who had finally learned to speak up not with anger, but with confidence. And the students learned something too. Silence doesn't mean weakness. Quiet doesn't mean fragile, and the smallest voice can carry the strongest message when it finally chooses to be heard. The story ended not with revenge, but with understanding. Because Mia didn't flip the bullies to embarrass them. She defended herself because sometimes standing up for your worth is the greatest lesson you can ever teach. And she did it with strength, dignity, and the heart of someone who survived more battles inside than anyone knew.